the boy Sushant Singh Rajput was killed on uh, 13th June 2020, and it has been confirmed with evidence. Still, nobody is going to accept that he was not killed on 13th. It's so ridiculous because they fancy farcical ideas. They nurture some notions, and we must stop beating around the bush and focus on a target of mass murdering, habitual murdering, brutal murdering of innocent ones. One person I would like to mention, one advocate. I don't know whether she is from Bombay or whether she is from Delhi. Her name, she has said, and the media has said, her name is Seema Kushwaha. And she has been glorified as the woman who fought for Nirbhaya. I must give you some clarification about Nirbhaya. The whole Nirbhaya case has been researched by me, and I have got full report on how still Nirbhaya is seeking, her soul is seeking justice. Her case was a state case, and the police was trying, when she was dead after this gang rape and murder, how she was murdered. One man who was labeled, fraudulently a juvenile without any evidence, he wanted to kill her to destroy the evidence and be free. He got, a rod, iron rod used for, take out the wheels, punctured wheels of, bus, and he pushed that rod through the female private part into the abdomen and churned the whole abdomen, and the whole, intestine was totally, cut into pieces, and she suffered massive internal hemorrhage. She went into shock, and then they thought she is dead. Her body was thrown on the road, and her boyfriend was beaten, and his legs were broken, and he also thrown on the road. When she was a student of Delhi University, luckily the entire youth, collected, in India Gate, the Maidan, the circular field of India Gate, in millions from Delhi and neighboring states. All the students gathered and protested, hang the killers, hang the rapists, and then this Congress government, who was responsible for his, her murder and rape, because the police was too, lazy to keep the law and order intact. It's throughout the India. By Congress governance, the whole India is turned into paradise of criminals. It is a garden of crimes. And Congress rule is totally responsible for it. And the man, the great man, the ex-law minister, this minister, that minister, when he lost the election, last election, he's made a Rajya Sabha member because he is very close to, Rahul Gandhi. A stupid man called Kapil Sibal, a criminal, a cruel, a corrupt man. Because this so-called juvenile's father was working as a servant in the house of Kapil Sibal. So, this murderer who really murdered with his own hand, and Nirbhaya was killed by his hand. He is the one who invited her, who lured her to come into the bus and instigated the others to rape her. And there is no role of any, lady or man, advocate in this case. It was the united effort of the young population of Delhi and the neighboring states who has stood by her, and they asked for justice ardently and bravely and continuously, and they and the culprits were arrested except the main culprit. So only 99%, only 1% justice has been done. 99% is justice is due to this girl, young girl, innocent girl called Nirbhaya. Alright? So there is nobody who fought for Nirbhaya. Let me make it very clear. Great injustice has been done to Nirbhaya. And this Kapil Sibal has employed this so-called juvenile into his house as a cook. He is eating halwa and puri cooked by this criminal who pushed a rod in a girl's private part and churned her internal organs and died, and like worse than a butcher. He is eating cooked food by this criminal, and the police did not arrest him. He was taken straight to juvenile justice court, and the judge was a third class man put by a Congress MP called Harshvardhan Singh. He was a Congressee, and this man, Sarma, I have forgotten his name, it is slipping from my mind. He was a retired teacher of a boys' school. He was not a social worker for child, which is a legal requirement for a judge to be a judge in juvenile justice court. There was no medical evidence, no X-ray of his knee joints were taken to level him as a juvenile, and a fraudulent, a forced admission register was made in a remote village to take him as a juvenile, and no advocate, no judge of trial court, juvenile justice court, number 1, trial court, number 2, number 3, Delhi High Court, number 4, Supreme Court, none of them, all the so-called advocates on behalf of the state, that is police, or on behalf of the mother and father of Nirbhaya, nobody has read Juvenile Justice Act. This way they have fought Nirbhaya's case. That is why the so-called juvenile has been eating halwa and puri and watching television for 3 years and came out and become a cook. Alright, so this is the story of Nirbhaya case, and I have gone through the whole Juvenile Justice Act. Even a juvenile, if he commits a major crime of murder, robbery and rape in collusion, conspiracy, abetment along with adults, criminals, he has to be tried, he has to be punished under the law of that crime, under the Indian Penal Code. Why it was not, this law was not implemented by the Juvenile Justice Court, by the trial court, Patiala House, and then Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court. Today's judiciary is being run by the persons who are illiterates of law. 90% of the judges are so-called, I will call them persons, they are not judges, because they are doing injustices. They are illiterates of law. What about these advocates? Why this Seema Kushwaha did not read Juvenile Justice Act and did not raise her voice for getting this so-called juvenile, such ferocious criminal, to get tried by the trial court? And I will do this job through Honorable Mr. Subramanian Swamy. He will give justice to Nirbhaya. No depression, no nepotism, no taking away of film, no suicide, only this Islamic mafia gang, so-called Islamic. They are bloody demons, bloody vultures, mafia. They have executed the murder of Sushant Singh Rajput. The police has been playing the game. The government has been enjoying the fun and denying CBI ardently and continuously. the police is summoning the ponies of this mafia, the killers gang to record depression, suicide theory. They are not going to give you any clue of his murder. Media is very much highlighting Mahesh Bhatt was called, Karan Johar's manager was called, who this was called. The DCP was licking the ass of Mahesh Bhatt. The police is for them. They are paid for it. And I am coming to the points now. You can note down. Please make a note. On behalf of Ekta Kapoor, our Honorable Minister, Mrs. Smriti Irani, on her own, appears before media and supports suicide farce by telling and referring death of Sushant Singh Rajput as suicide. Who is she to call it suicide without bothering to know little clues? Rupa Ganguly, she has collected the clues, then she speaks, then she opens her mouth. She can dare to do that because she is standing on the platform of truth. She has worked for it. She has struggled for it. And she can speak out for it. You may be very, great person in politics, which I deny. You defeated a person called Rahul Gandhi because, he didn't deserve to be, elected by the public. He has been always derogating Mr. Narendra Singh Modi. If you derogate somebody, out of animosity at the behest of your foolish, stupid friends called Kapil Sibal, and you do stupid things, you will lose the election. It is not the magic of Smriti Irani. It is magic of our leader, our hero, Narendra Modi. It was his charisma. Whosoever won the election, it is not him. It is Mr. Narendra Modi. His mantra has been activated and it will remain activated because he has got yogic energy of yoga and meditation. The man who has never indulged in sex and humanization, and he had dedicated his whole life to politics. He deserves to be, and he has seen the welfare of the security of this nation. He is a nationalist. He is not a BJP leader. He has given relief to our Islamic brothers and the sisters who have got the relief from the who have got the relief of the fear, of the terror that their daughters will be dumped at their door with their children, and after uttering talaq, talaq and talaq. All Islamic brothers and sisters, in their heart, they love Narendra Modi. They have voted for Narendra Modi. They will vote for Narendra Modi. No matter how stupid claim you make of your so-called secularism. What secularism? The Congress, if could, Congress would have converted Kashmir into East Pakistan. And Mamata Banerjee, who has taken the tag of Congress to call her party Trinamool Party, Trinamool Congress. She is a Desdrohi, like Rahul Gandhi, like Sonia Gandhi, like Priyanka Gandhi. Mamata Banerjee is a traitor. She is an enemy of our nationality. If she could, she would have turned West Bengal into West Bangladesh. That is what she intends to, so that there should be nice cushions under their bottom on their, chairs. This is what they are, they want. They are craving for. They are desperate for. Hell with the nation. They are in their heart. They say, hell with this nation. They are not bothered. We are more secular. There are more Islamic faith brothers and sisters in my country more than in number than any one country of this world. I am giving you this truth, with full confidence, and nobody can challenge me. Why, why only Kashmiris, instigated by Pakistanis, these Kashmiri women, they are traitors, they are Drohi. They have chased all the Hindu Kashmiris out of their state. How many Muslim Kashmiris have flown to Pakistan? They say their daughters are being raped. I am being confronted with Pakistani, gentlemen, and the gentlemen from Bangladesh, that your, country is raping the girls and the killing the, young boys in Kashmir. We have got more Muslims in Hyderabad. We have got more Muslims in West Bengal. We have more Muslims in Assam. We have got all the Muslims all over India, even in Bihar. Nobody's daughter is being raped. Nobody's son is being killed. Only in Kashmir, because they have taken the shelter, the weapon of scandalization, the falsehood, the farcical weapon against India, because they are traitors, they are Desdrohis, and they are brought into their siege when the Kashmir is called a free state now, with the amendment of constitution. And all our Jawans have been killed because of this secular poison being fed by Congress, National Congress, Trinamool Congress. This Congress, the C letter stands for crime, corruption, cruelty. Mahatma Gandhi, just after freedom, who had, with all his close associates, has constituted Congress party. He is told to all the congressmen, let's dissolve this party, because this is going to be misused, abused, and very badly exploited. He had foreseen it. He had a foresight, and for this he was sidelined. He was kicked out of scene. He was totally, he was a very sad man before he was killed. Mahatma Gandhi. And today our Jawans are being killed. Innocent. There is no value of lives of our daughters and our sons. They can be killed, chopped off, slaughtered, like vegetables. 5 murder consecutively in one row, and they are all young boys, young girls. They have been raped by Sushant Singh Rajput. Oh my God, I'm totally getting mad. They have been raped by Suraj Panchali, the sex maniac, and murdered because the girls, told him to, to get her married. 2 girls, Jia Khan, Disha Salian, and 1 man, Suraj Pancholi, with so much of mafia power. Unimaginable, unbelievable. The second person, one film star called Akshay Kumar. He came out and started preaching the public, suicide नहीं commit करना चाहिए, parents पे क्या बीतती है. Do you have this right? Calling his murder a suicide. This right given to you by the departed soul, Sushant Singh Rajput, that you will call his death as suicide. On what basis you called him, his murder, as suicide? And I must disclose this fact before our nation, before the people of our nation and the whole world. This Akshay Kumar has performed for Pakistani mafia in London and collected money. It is a corruption, it's a crime, and it's a cruelty against our security forces. And nobody is talking of him. Only, the traitors, they are naming Amir Khan, Shahrukh Khan, Salman Khan, and Saif Ali Khan. Why not these Hindu names? This Shahid Kapoor, Akshay Kumar, he has collected lot of money. I know the name of this girl called Safak. I have got the photograph of this Pakistani girl who arranged, the stage show for Akshay Kumar. And he has not burnt a candle. He has not lit a candle for this departed soul. When the whole, whole lot of, Indian population is crying for justice and telling the truth that he was murdered. Just one spot at his neck will disclose the entire story of this gruesome murder. We have got ample evidences, totally unbiased evidences. But this one black spot, probably Ma Kali put a black mark on his neck to let the justice prevail. And I think it has been done. The third person is, there are so many. I cannot, my video is very small. On 7th July, one riffraff is called on Republic TV. His name is Ranveer Suri. Such an unprincipled liar is being given. Please control. On 7th July, one riffraff is called on Republic TV. His name is Ranveer Suri. Such an unprincipled, liar, frustrated man is being given undue importance and support by Arnab Goswami for giving, farcical claim on behalf of Sushant Singh Rajput. And this man, this Arnab Goswami, is highlighting again this passive, sadistic matter, the topic of nepotism, depression and suicide. This Arnab Goswami, in the name of justice for Sushant Singh Rajput, he is throttling the soul of, Sushant Singh Rajput. That man called Ranveer Suri is telling he did something and took a sad step. Please mark my words. His mother passed away. He was, professionally doomed. He was isolated, emotionally vulnerable, and socially ostracized. Therefore, he took sad step. What sad step? Was he sad like you? You are frustrated because you were sidelined by, gangism or nepotism. You were not talented enough to win against nepotism. Kangana Ranaut has won over, nepotism. And it was not actually nepotism. It was, woman versus men. It is the men-dominated society. If she sold her dignity, she would have 1,000 pictures. If she would have looked half naked, popping her boobs and showing her bottoms. She is a principal woman, a beautiful woman, A courageous woman. That is why she has paid a price. This is not nepotism. She has to correct her versions also, and she must be very careful. I salute her for the way she has fought the Bollywood world. And I wish she comes into government. As she must. Such women needs to be in government. We don't need Smriti Irani, insufficiently educated, totally insensitive. This Smriti Irani must show us that without BJP, you must win an election and show us. It is the wings of Mr. Narendra Modi. Nanak Naam नानक नाम जहाज है चढ़े सो उतरे पार. At this moment, tell them not to insult. On this jahaj, all worthy ones and unworthy ones, boarded and par. I had announced that even if a putla, a statue, Mr. Modi, places in any constituency under the banner of Bharatiya Janata Party, there's a statue, that putla will win. His charisma, his Yog Shakti is all that, enigmatic, forceful, powerful. It is not Smriti Irani. She should note my words. I am not scared of her. I would ask, did Sushant Singh Rajput came personally and told this man called Ranbir Sore that I am socially outcasted, I am professionally outcasted, I am isolated, I am doomed, I am made vulnerable. These, such sadistic, such nonsensical words he is using against this boy who is so brave. He is so noble, he is so forceful, so exuberant, so full of life. You just watch one glimpse of his, this Sushant Singh Rajput, sitting next to Mahendra Singh Dhoni in a, I think press conference. He is repeatedly bursting into laughter and he is hiding his face. We Biharis, we laugh in a very, very, earthy manner, very primitive manner. We don't know how to hide our laughter. And this boy, seeing this glimpse of him, the most depressive patient will be cured of a depression. This kind of personality, you are trying to, taint into a depressive patient. Shame on you. Desdrohi. They are potentiating the cause of killer mafia working under the name of Islam faith. And I condemn them. This is all personality assassination when the person is no more in this world. Worse than character assassination. When please tell them, go and request them. Please. The mafia gang kill him so brutally that not even one single bone of his was intact. I have seen, you can mark his, legs totally disfigured due to, injury. And his face, his neck. The most brutal, gruesome murder and such an innocent, noble, generous, intelligent, intellectual, talented, so successful, so handsome, spreading life, happiness, exuberance, jubilance all around spontaneously and instantly. Shame such grievous injustice to Sushant Singh Rajput publicly to potentiate the cause of killer mafia gang. It is being done under the banner of justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. Such farce, unethical, show. Why not we can concentrate on the subject of brutal killing for which millions and millions have lost their peace, their sleeps, their rest. Where is justice? Who is doing justice to Sushant Singh Rajput? Nobody, except the people, the citizens, and unanimously and unanimously. We don't know their names. They're unanimous. They don't have banners of Ujjwal Trivedi, banners of Republic TV or whatsoever, and so many. And I'm coming to Kangna also at last. Why not raise voice against mafia killer gang who killed so many innocent souls? Why to loud just nepotism? Why don't you highlight that the sex maniac got killed? 6 innocent girls and boys like you in Bollywood. Why don't you raise this issue? Why you talk of your nepotism? You are a brave girl. You have fought over it, and hats off to you. I salute you. But I will criticize you because truth is a bit bitter at times and is for your good. You will go very far. There is a fire within you, but give this fire a channel, a proper channel, a truthful channel, which is the need of this moment. We need your voice against mafia, against murder of these souls, these 2 girls, and another girl, Divya Bharti, thrown away from the 5th floor on 5th May 1993. They have got habituated of killing boys and girls at their whims and fancies. They are fanatics. Thank you.